Hello from Durham, where I'm not just exploring the historic city centre with its UNESCO-listed castle and cathedral, but the whole county. Located in the northeast of England, the nearest airport is Newcastle, but it's under 3 hours by train from London to the city centre, and from here you can explore the other areas of Durham. So I'm inside Durham Cathedral, which has the narrowest and steepest tower of any cathedral in England, and I'm about to climb to the top. Views from up here are fantastic. The city itself is quite compact, but you can see right across Durham. That's a lot of steps, but the views are always worth the steps. Back down from the tower, and now I'm going to visit Durham Cathedral, which is part of the UNESCO site here in the city. Right now I'm out in one of the cloisters. Super pretty. Construction of the Grand Cathedral started in 1093, and it's most famous as the burial place of St Cuthbert. Still in use today, the impressive stained glass windows and tall arches are beautiful, and there's also a museum attached to the cathedral called the Open Treasure Museum, which you can explore. The other part of the World Heritage Site in Durham is the castle, which sits just alongside the cathedral. So this is pretty exciting. Right now I am in Durham Castle, which was also a palace, and now it is the university, but you can still come here and do tours. So I'm pretty excited to actually go inside. It's way bigger than I expected. Crazy, you can actually stay in the castle. Obviously it's used as a university in term times, but in the holidays you can stay in either the dorms or upgrade and splash out to one of these suites. This used to actually be where the bishop would stay, and it's kind of crazy. You've got not only the king size bed there, but this huge space out here as well. So I'm starting my second day in County Durham here, which might look like a palace or a castle, but it's actually the Bows Museum, which was built by one guy as a gift for his wife and the local people. Clearly, no expense was spared because it looks like a chateau from France. So let's go in and have a look at what is going on inside. Before visiting Durham, I'd been told a lot of the museums here were very interactive, and inside the Bows Museum they had Lego versions of almost all the exhibits to play with. It's just incredible that this huge space was built just to be a museum and as a gift for his wife. That is a special kind of love right there, or a lot of money, one or the other. While the inside of the Bows Museum is grand and the collection extensive, the main draw here is the Silver Swan, one of just a couple of 18th century automatons still in existence that performs here every day at 2 p.m. First museum I've been to where you get to take part of the collection home, so a little souvenir from Durham. Driving through the Durham Dales is spectacular, but it's also quite easy to get around by public transport and stop off at a lot of the old little market towns and castles in the region. Next up, I headed to the fantastic Raby Castle. And like a lot of the others, this isn't part of English heritage, it's actually privately owned and always has been, which is quite unique given the size of it. So we're going to go in and have a little tour.
Inside the 14th century castle, you'll learn about the royalty, bishops and noblemen that have called this castle home over the past hundreds of years.
It's crazy to think that at some time about 40 people work inside this kitchen, and it's ginormous, which is quite impressive. Just from the outside alone, the views over the lakes are beautiful, and they actually filmed part of Victoria here. So there's this really cute cafe here in the old barn houses, and they do afternoon tea, but we've missed it. So I'm gonna go and get some lunch. But yeah, if you want to be English and have the traditional afternoon tea experience, you can do that here looking out on a castle. So this is pretty amazing. It might look like I've stepped back in time, but I'm actually in Beamish, which is a living museum here in the north. And it's basically not even a recreation. Tram gone past. These buildings were already here. A lot of them have been deconstructed or saved from where they were around the local area and then rebuilt here brick by brick to kind of keep this history of England alive. There's actually actors here playing out shopkeepers, teachers, people actually living in the houses. It's really weird. You walk into the house and someone's there and like, hello, and you're in their home. To the dentist now. There's trams, buses, a steam rail, so it's pretty big. I might be taking this living museum thing a bit too seriously because I'm just using it as an excuse to eat everything. But they have an actual sweet shop here which sells all of my favourites. So I'm not really sure what I've signed up to, but I think I'm going to go in here, dress up and get some photos done.
So this is super cool. It's set up like a photo studio from the 1900s and the staff here will dress you up in a range of different outfits.
And this is how it would have been back in the days, I guess.
Very, very much so, yeah.
And it wouldn't be a proper British day out without some fish and chips. And inside the Beamish Pit Village, there's a fish and chip shop that cooks it in the same style and kitchen as would have been used in the 1900s.
But this is hands down the best museum I've ever been to. Hate being talked at and told lots of facts, so to be able to kind of walk around and experience it yourself is pretty incredible. So next up I've come to the really cute town of Bishop Auckland, which is only about half an hour on the bus from Durham city centre.
And I've headed here to discover the Auckland Project, run by an organisation passionate about preserving the town's heritage. And if you start in the Auckland Tower, you can learn all about the bishops that used to call this place home. The Auckland Project had been hard at work restoring Auckland Castle, which was just about to open again to the public. Sadly I couldn't film inside, but I really loved how they set it up as a lived-in castle, with banquets all over the table half eaten and even wardrobes you could rummage around in. Next up, I headed to Locomotion, the North East Rail Museum.
I'm going to test out the different seats. First one. Economy's not very comfortable. Second class looks very different nowadays to what it used to. Have a look inside. I wish I could say they were letting me drive it.
And that was sadly the end of my visit to Durham, but I know I'll be back. There's plenty more the region has to offer, and I hope you love it just as much as I did when you visit.